Once upon a time, there was a beautiful and serene village nestled among tall, enchanting hills. In this village lived a young man named Peter. Peter was polite, humble, and kind-hearted, yet he was a poor man. He was also a thoughtful soul, often reflecting deeply on life. Peter had a small circle of friends who lived in the same neighborhood as him. Whenever Peter went out with his friends, other people would show them respect and honor. However, Peter himself seldom received the same recognition, which left him quietly perplexed. One day, feeling unsettled and out of place, Peter decided to visit the river that flowed near his village. With a heavy heart and a troubled mind, he sat by the water's edge, lost in thought. His mind spiraled with questions and concerns. Why didn't people respect others equally? Why did they so often resort to humiliating or insulting one another without any justifiable reason? The world's unkindness weighed heavily on him, filling his mind with countless restless thoughts that disrupted his inner peace. Troubled by the negativity he faced from others, Peter hurried to visit his wise monk, a spiritual figure renowned for resolving worldly dilemmas with remarkable ease. The monk lived in a grand and imposing monastery nestled high in rough terrain. Upon arriving, Peter found the monk immersed in deep meditation, surrounded by a handful of individuals who sat at his feet, seeking guidance and solace from their struggles. Recognizing the need for patience, Peter quietly joined them and waited his turn. When the monk opened his eyes, filled with compassion, he observed the many faces bearing life's burdens. One by one, he began addressing their troubles, offering clarity and relief with calming wisdom. When Peter's turn arrived, he stood respectfully, bowed, and then knelt before the monk. The monk asked about Peter's well-being, prompting Peter to break down into tears and share his sorrow. Peter lamented, "No one respects me or values my presence. My friends, family, and relatives all take me for granted. When I share my thoughts or opinions, they disregard them or even mock me. It happens everywhere, among friends and family alike, and I'm beginning to believe that I am indeed unworthy of respect." He went on despairingly, "Wherever I go, people treat me as though I am insignificant." The monk listened intently. Then, with a warm and reassuring smile, he said to Peter, "My child, no one can disrespect or humiliate another unless that person allows it to happen. People undermine you because you've unknowingly made yourself vulnerable by not cultivating inner strength and confidence. You are living in a world where the weak are often dominated by the strong, be it the father who scolds his children, the husband who belittles his wife, or the wealthy who look down upon the poor. Strength dominates weakness, it's a recurring pattern in life. However, you must reflect deeply to understand why people treat you this way." The monk continued, "Ask yourself, why don't they dignify you or take you seriously? Grasping how people think and perceive is key to understanding their behavior toward you. But there's hope. Today, I will share 5 essential lessons that can bring about respect and ensure you are heard and valued. If you live these lessons earnestly, others will honor you. They will listen attentively to your words and will never ignore you again." Now, Peter, the monk concluded, listen closely to these 5 transformative principles. One of the most essential habits to cultivate is the ability to say no when needed. Agreeing with people solely to make them happy or to look good in their eyes can ultimately harm you. When you constantly say yes to everything, people may start taking you for granted, assuming you lack your own opinions or thoughts. This not only erodes your self-respect but also makes others perceive you as someone without boundaries or individuality. When you're unable to say no, people might stop seeking your consent altogether. They assume there's no point in asking because you'll agree regardless. Over time, this behavior leads others to disregard your time and assign tasks to you that they could easily handle themselves. Due to hesitation, you inadvertently take on work without considering its impact on your own priorities, often feeling frustrated and wasting valuable time that could have been spent on personal growth or self-improvement. Moreover, the effort you put into helping others may go unappreciated, as they come to expect this behavior as the norm. When you say yes to everyone all the time, it diminishes the value of your assistance and leaves you feeling dissatisfied. Therefore, you must consider each request carefully before agreeing, instead of automatically responding with a yes. Remember, your happiness doesn't depend on pleasing everyone around you. Consistently saying yes to others at the cost of your own well-being will only lead to unhappiness and a loss of respect. Learning to say no when appropriate is crucial, not just for asserting your boundaries but also for preserving your time, energy, and self-worth. The second chapter you need to understand, Peter, is that you must stop complaining. Everyone has their own set of problems, and constantly crying or lamenting about your troubles only pushes people away. Nobody enjoys being around someone who is perpetually focused on their sorrows. People naturally avoid such individuals because they are already preoccupied with the challenges in their own lives. What people appreciate is someone who brings positivity, someone who can make them laugh, uplift their spirits, and provide a temporary escape from their worries. Instead of complaining, focus on finding solutions to your problems on your own. Sharing your struggles excessively with others often serves no purpose. At best, they might mock you behind your back, or at worst, they may distance themselves completely. If you value your self-respect and wish to earn others' respect, it's essential to let go of this habit of constant complaining. Take charge of your life and work towards becoming someone people look up to rather than avoid. Forever thereafter, the monk shared with Peter the third lesson about earning people's respect. The monk explained, "Do not always make yourself available to others. If you are constantly accessible to everyone, people will begin to take you for granted and may even stop respecting you. Over time, they might start seeing you as insignificant." The monk continued, "Peter, no matter how much we cherish someone or how highly we regard them, the person in front of us may still perceive us as less important if we overextend our presence. When we give excessive importance to someone in our lives, we risk losing our own respect and value in their eyes. Remember this, Peter, in this world. Those who are less accessible are often seen as more valuable. Conversely, those who are always available tend to lose their worth in the eyes of others. Consider water. It is essential for life, yet it often goes unappreciated due to its abundance. Meanwhile, something like a precious diamond holds immense value not because of necessity but because it is rare. This is why maintaining scarcity makes people more inclined to seek you out and show you respect. The fourth lesson emphasizes the importance of integrity and reliability. Always follow through on what you say, as no one admires a dishonest or unreliable person. If you want others to respect, value, and trust you, avoid making false promises or speaking untruthfully. Stick to your words at all costs. By being truthful and dependable, you will earn the respect of those around you. On the other hand, if you deceive people, earning their trust or respect becomes nearly impossible. Always honor your commitments because when you fail to do so, you risk losing the respect of friends, family, and society. Upholding your promises and decisions strengthens your reputation, while breaking them only erodes it. Avoid actions that undermine trust and respect to maintain strong relationships with your loved ones and community. After a brief pause, the monk turned to Peter and said, "It takes years to build respect, but it can be lost quickly due to small mistakes and bad habits." This, too, is a common reason why people may fail to respect us. Having shared these four valuable lessons, the monk imparted one final teaching about earning honor and respect. He then added, "My child, one of the main causes of humiliation in this world and society is poverty. A poor man often finds himself friendless and disconnected from relatives. Everywhere he goes, he faces insults and embarrassment at every turn in his life. In such circumstances, a poor person may begin to feel as though they themselves are a curse upon the world. But the greatest humiliation often occurs within one's own home. When news spreads that someone lacks financial resources, others may start looking upon them with pity instead of dignity. For the poor, life in such a world feels like walking along a path strewn with thorns. Therefore, you must cultivate qualities that will help you escape this poverty trap. Financial independence or stability is indeed an important factor when it comes to earning respect from those around us. If you desire to be valued and respected by others, you must work to change yourself, transforming into the best version of who you can be. Only then can you witness people respecting and valuing you. Having shared these profound words of wisdom, the monk concluded his teachings and blessed Peter, wishing him a bright and happy future where he would no longer experience disrespect. Returning to his meditations, the monk left Peter with renewed hope. In gratitude for the monk's guidance, Peter bowed respectfully before him and returned home deeply inspired. Peter soon began applying all 5 of the monk's teachings in his daily life. Remarkably, he soon began noticing significant positive changes. His actions gained meaning and his newfound habits invited respect, honor, and appreciation from others. Over time, this transformation completely uplifted Peter's life. Those around him began to see him as a man of great integrity and high values. In the end, Peter achieved the respect and honor he had always yearned for, proving that change begins from within.